My name is Latoya Nicole, and I am a best-selling author and a boutique consultant. So I help entrepreneurs start and market their online boutique businesses. And I wanted to just come on today because I've been getting quite a few messages asking how to start, like from new people that follow me on social media. So I thought it would just be dope to put together a video so that I could just kind of answer all of the questions in one take. All right, so just a little bit about my background. I actually have an online boutique. I started my online boutique a couple years ago, and what happened was I was selling clothes on Poshmark. And for those of you who don't know, Poshmark is just an app where you can actually sell new and used clothes from your closet. So I was trying to get rid of some clothes from my closet because one of my good girlfriends was like, you need to join this app. I've been making money off of it. And she was like, I know you have some stuff that you want to sell. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I put a couple of items on there, and the items were from my closet. So they were used items, and the items actually sold. So from there, it was like a light bulb went off, and I was like, so if I can sell these old items, I know that if I could find a way to source wholesalers for new items that actually look great, no one has worn, I know I'll be able to sell those. Of course, listen, guys, seriously, every time I do a video or try to do a live or anything, this happens. That's my dog, Chloe. Okay. So, you okay, Stinker? All right. So I found wholesale vendors. It was a lot of research. Like, Google is your best friend because you can find so much information on Google and YouTube, but it was so challenging finding quality vendors. That was one of the biggest challenges. So I did a lot of research, and basically I want to be able to save you guys some time and some money because so many people won't, help you with like vendor information or how to get started without charging an arm and a leg. And I do think that it's okay to charge for your services because I actually charge for services as well. I just also think that it's okay to give back sometimes. So this is my take on giving back. All right. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to give you guys 8 tips or 8 steps. I'm going to give you guys 8 steps to get started with your online boutique, okay? Step number 1. What is your why? Now, the reason that this step is actually important, but a lot of people overlook it, is because if you don't have a real reason that you are doing something or that you are wanting to start your business, then when times get rough, you're going to stop the business. So it has to be a reason that would make you keep going, So, for example, sometimes people might think that their why is because they want to make money, right? And money seems pretty intriguing from business. Of course, we all want to make money. That's one of the reasons that we start a business. But if making money is your only reason for starting a business, then you're setting yourself up for failure because, like I said, when times get rough or you're having slow months or your products aren't moving like you think they should, you're going to want to quit because that was your initial goal, was to just make money, right? So you're going to want to really, really consider and think about your why, and just write it down and keep it in the back of your mind. And whenever you do feel like you want to quit in business, because there will be times that you do feel like you want to quit because it can be overwhelming. It's not all peaches and cream. You're just going to want to think back to your why. So that's going to be step number 1, is deciding your why. Step number 2 is your legal structure. So you can do things like consult with your Secretary of State, and you can find them useful because usually they'll send you all of the documents that you need for your particular state to get started. I know in my state is North Carolina, so I checked with my Secretary of State. They were able to send me, anything that I needed. And if you're in North Carolina, I don't mind sending you the documents that you're going to need that they sent to me. I'll send those to you. You would just simply email me and I can do that. So you can also check with sites like LegalZoom.com because you're going to want to register your business. You're going to want to get an EIN. You're also going to want to start understanding your legal structure as far as if you want it to be an LLC, if you want to be a sole proprietorship. A lot of people do go with an LLC in business. I don't have a recommendation. That's something you're just going to have to, just research and do what's best for you. My company personally is an LLC, and one of the reasons that I chose an LLC is because it separates your business from your personal. So if, let's say someone tried to sue you, let's say they bought a shirt from you and they felt like the collar on the shirt gave them a rash on their neck and they try to sue you, then they would only be suing your business. They can't take your house or your car or anything like that. So it kind of separates the two. So that's one of the positives from an LLC, but you can always go online and just research and, take out a journal and start writing your negatives and positives so you'll know what you want to do, and you can actually, listen to other people's testimonies, look at what other people have done with boutiques as well. Step number 3 is your branding. A lot of people think that branding is simply your logo, but your branding is not just your logo. Your logo is encapsulated within your brand, but branding is the personality of your business. What do people say about your business? How do people feel when they see your business? It's kind of like when you see a big M for the McDonald's arch, you automatically get hungry because that's what you think of when you see the big M. It makes you think burger, fries, oh my God, all of a sudden I'm hungry. What does your brand represent? I go back to McDonald's value. So you know that when you see McDonald's, you can get a cheap kids meal, you can get, you can add on something for just $1 extra. So you think of all of that stuff when you see that particular brand. So that's the same thing that your brand would stand for. What is the personality? And when you are thinking about the personality of your brand, you do want to also start going ahead to think about your logo, think about your website colors. What will your website be? Bubbly and fun? Will your brand be kind of sleek and clean? So all of those things fall into branding. Also, you're going to want to think about your models. When people start their online boutique, I do see a lot of people actually start with using the models from the wholesale vendors page. And that's actually okay to do. They don't mind that you actually do that. It's just when you're building your brand, at a certain time, if you have to start there, that's fine, because you just want to really start, okay? But at a certain time, you're going to want to actually get your own models, get your own things done as far as branding, because you are going to want to separate yourself from what everyone else is doing. And if everyone else is buying clothes from a vendor and using their models, then that's not going to make your brand stand out from the next person's brand. You want your brand to be individual and personalized, okay? Step number 4, your platform. So your platform, when I first started out, I actually started on StoreEnvy.com. They were a free platform. They were like a marketplace. So basically, when you think of a marketplace, you kind of think of like eBay's platform, where you don't have to do a lot of promoting, because other people on that platform might see your products and they'll just purchase them. So that was nice, but with platforms like that, and sometimes even with like eBay, you can't really personalize it. Again, going back to branding, you want your brand to be personalized. So from there, I started researching other shops, and I moved to Big Cartel. Big Cartel was fine. They had a reasonable rate. It was like $10 for maybe, I believe it was like 20 items or something. I'm not sure. But it was pretty reasonable, and I did that for a while. But one thing that I noticed is one of my customers tried to check out one night, and there was an issue with the checkout process. So I couldn't get in touch with anyone at customer service. So that was an issue for me. I was looking for someone to have good customer service, someone who had everything that I needed within the website, so I didn't have to keep like purchasing different systems to go with the website. So those were things of value for me when I was looking for a platform. And as I continued to grow, I started noticing that a lot of people were using Shopify. I actually recommend Shopify. I've been with Shopify ever since I left Big Cartel, and I love Shopify. They have great customer service. As a matter of fact, I had an issue over the weekend with the checkout button, and like you can chat with them, you can actually call them, and the customer service is great. Yes, it's a little more pricey. I believe it's like $29 a month for the lowest plan. They have like tiers that you can purchase for your website, but they have all of the apps that you need to plug into your system. It's just really, really convenient. So you're going to want to think about your platform. Once you start doing your research, you'll notice that in addition to Store Envy, Big Cartel, and Shopify, you also have Wix. You also have sites like Square. So I mean, it's a lot of different things that you can actually choose from, but you just want to make sure that you're picking a site that's convenient for you and the price is right. So step number 5 is going to be sourcing your products. So this is the part that everyone loves because everyone wants to know where to get vendor information. When I was starting, that was the big thing for me as well. Where can I find vendors? Where can I find quality vendors? Because when I originally started, I was doing what you call drop shipping. So for those who don't know, what drop shipping is when you are like the middleman to a company, well, to your company specifically. So basically you would just find products that you actually like. You will go ahead and list those products on your website, and you don't purchase them or anything, you just list them on your website. And then once someone checks out the product from your website, then you would go and contact the vendor and order the product with the money that they paid you, and you would just keep the dividend. So basically you would keep what's left over, and that vendor would ship the product to your customer. So you're like the middleman, okay? You don't have to worry about having any inventory to stock or anything like that, because someone is stocking that inventory for you. A lot of times with drop shipping, the rate can be a little more high or a little higher than most wholesale vendors, okay? So you just want to be careful and just make sure that if you do drop ship, that you're ordering the products first so that you can test them out and you can see the quality. And that's actually a good technique to do whether you're drop shipping or not, but specifically if you're drop shipping, because sometimes when you order from overseas, the items may not look exactly like the picture. It may not fit like the picture. Sometimes the items may be too small, and things like that. So you're going to want to check the quality of the items if you choose to drop ship, okay? But what I'm focusing on is actually purchasing your merchandise from wholesale vendors. And a couple of wholesale vendors when starting out that I was able to research online were vendors like Capella, I think it's called Capella USA, also Stylewise Direct, and fifthculture.com. Those were some vendors that I started with. And I know with fifthculture.com, they actually had a system where they would input your like logo into the collar for the tag for your customers, so that it would look professional and look branded and things like that, okay? So those were just a couple of vendors that I initially started out with when I started researching and digging for stuff. Of course, I later found like a marketplace of vendors and things like that, which I have a wholesale booklet that has all of the other vendors that I actually found, but those were just some right off the bat that I can think of that I actually tried out when I first started. And they were, they were pretty good. They had good quality and things like that. So now I will say, when I ordered from Fifth Culture, even though they do have like where they can put your tags in and stuff like that, I ordered a size regular and they sent me plus size, so I had to like contact them, get everything sent back, so that was a little hassle. But sometimes that's what happens with vendors. Step number 6, shipping. So when you're starting out, you can ship with sites like USPS. Step number 6, shipping. So when you're starting out, you can ship with sites like USPS. And as you grow, you can get accounts that would save you money on shipping, like with UPS or with FedEx. But as you start, you can just start shipping with USPS. And if you use Shopify, they actually have like a plug-in. I use Shippo. It's called Shippo, Shippo, and they plug into your account, and you can actually ship your items through them directly, and you can still use UPS and things like that. And one of the things I love about USPS is you can actually schedule a pickup. So I know some people still work at 8 to 5, and you may not have time to go to the mailbox every single time you have an order, so you can actually schedule a pickup and just have the packages ready when they come to pick them up and things like that. And with USPS, you could get like free packaging, so that's really convenient as well. Step number 7, launching and marketing. Because why would you launch a business and not have a marketing plan? If you launch and no one knows about your business, this is how your first day of sales is going to be. Extremely quiet. You're not going to hear any cha-chings on your phone or your devices or anything. So before you launch, you need to invest in some sort of marketing plan, or at least learn how to set up your own marketing plan. And when I say marketing plan, I'm simply just saying, how are you going to get the word out about your boutique? Who are you going to tell? For you to know who you're going to tell, that encapsulates knowing who your target audience is. You have to know who you are targeting with your boutique. Are you targeting plus size women? Are you targeting men? Are you targeting tall men? Are you targeting teenage girls? Who are you targeting? Whoever you're targeting, that's who you're going to want to connect your marketing plan with, so that you can get orders from those people that you're targeting. So it's very important to have a marketing. I personally have built all of the businesses that I have from Instagram. Instagram is bae for me. And when I say it's bae, it's because you can actually collaborate with influencers. You can actually just reach out to people and get them to share your products with their audience. Now, there will be a cost mostly with influencers because they do expect to get money. You can still find sometimes where people are just willing to be a blessing to you, but that is going to be challenging, I will tell you. Now, I did run into people who were willing to be a blessing to me, and I'm grateful for them. Those people were on Instagram as well, and I was able to build my Instagram business and direct all of that traffic that I got from Instagram to my personal website, okay? And that's how I was able to make sales. So just make sure that you have a marketing plan, and just make sure that you are letting everyone that you know that your business has launched. If you have an email list that you're starting, which I personally suggest, when you know you're getting ready to launch, I would go ahead and set up a web page where people can actually input their email address. So you're going to send traffic to that web page. So you're already going to start building your email audience. And the way you're going to start doing that is by getting people excited. Show them sneak peeks of what you're doing behind the scenes, so that they're like, yes, girl, when are you coming out with that? When are you coming out with that dress, girl? Yes, let me go ahead and sign up so I can be the first to know so that it doesn't sell out. So you're going to drive traffic to your website. Let them go ahead and start putting their email address. That way you can just keep the momentum up, keep them excited. And when you launch, you already have at least that little audience, okay? So those are just some quick tips on how to start your online boutique. I wish you success and soar.